Hello, dear students. Welcome to your English language class. This is your English teacher, Ritu Bala. In today's lecture, I'll tell you the summary of the novel A Christmas Carol, written by Charles Dickens, that has been made compulsory to inculcate your interest towards extensive reading, that is, reading for pleasure, which is also a way of learning a language by enriching your vocabulary as well. Since the school has put all the sincere efforts to develop independent reading habit among the students of all the standards, you should also make it sure to have thorough reading to get an insight into it. Though to support your reading, I'll try my level best to explain it in significant detail. So let's talk about the playwright first. Charles Dickens, the playwright of the novel A Christmas Carol, was born on 7th February 1812 and died on June 9, 1870. Was an English writer and social critic. He created some of the world's best known fictional characters and is regarded by many as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. His famous notable works are The Pickwick Papers, Oliver Twist, Nicholas Nickleby, A Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, Bleak House, Little Dorrit, A Tale of Two Cities, Great Expectations, and many more. Now let's move on to the summary of the play A Christmas Carol. But before that, we need to know about the characters briefly. The play focuses on the central character, Ebenezer Scrooge. He is an old man with a lot of wealth. He is single and miserly. He would not spend even on his own comforts. He owns a warehouse and an office. He denies himself even hot food and light. He rejects his nephew's invitation to dinner. He drives that carol singers out. He thinks that the poor have no right to be merry. They should either be sent to workhouses or the prisons. He is an unfeeling, self-centered man. The play traces his journey of change of heart from callous uncle and employer to a very liberal and noble soul. Next is Fred. Fred is Scrooge's nephew. He is the only son of his late loving sister Fan. He is a man who tries to change his uncle's attitude but is driven out of the house. Next character is Bob Cratchit. Bob Cratchit is Scrooge's clerk, poor and underpaid, loyal and contented, with a family of 5 persons to support. He is a father of a handicapped boy, Tiny Tim. Next one is Belle, the pretty girl whom Scrooge was once going to marry, but his love for gold overshadowed his love for her. So she set him free to marry any other girl. Next character is Jacob Marley. Jacob Marley is the business partner of Scrooge before his death 7 years ago. He was also money-minded, his spirit doomed to wander through the world in chains as a penance and punishment. He appears before Scrooge to beware of that miserable fate. He also forewarns him of the three spirits that night to reform him. Next characters are three ghosts. In accordance with Marley's warning, the spirits of Scrooge's own present, past, and future appear at 1, 2, and 3 a.m. Take Scrooge to see his unhappy childhood, failed youth, and cursed afterlife. This journey softens and ennobles Scrooge's heart. So, dear students, the play A Christmas Carol tells the story of a money-minded, killjoy, and unsocial rich man Scrooge. It highlights the underlying spirit of the festival. It is time not only to make merry, but also help the poor and the destitute. This play tells how such an unfeeling man undergoes a sea change in his attitude on Christmas Eve. Eve means an evening before. Christmas Eve means Christmas falls on 25th of December. So Christmas Eve means an evening before, means an evening of 24th of December. So this comes about, so this change, sea change in the attitude of Scrooge comes about through the efforts of four spirits. First one is Jacob Marley's spirit and the three ghosts of Scrooge's past, present, and future. So Marley's spirit warns him of the miserable fate of a fortune seeker. So the play has been divided in 5 parts. Stave 1, Stave 2, Stave 3, Stave 4, Stave 5. Stave 1 is Marley's ghost. Stave 2, the first of the three spirits. Stave 3, the second of the three spirits. Stave 4, the last of the spirits. Stave 5, the end of it. In this audio, you will listen to Part 1, Stave 1, Marley's Ghost. So, now you can open your books. At page 1, you will find Stave 1, Marley's Ghost. So, on the very first page, you will find about the beginning. The beginning has been told by the writer as Marley. Jacob Marley is dead. So this is the information on the very first page, and on the second page we can I'll explain in detail from first page onwards. This goes like this. As the church clock strikes 3 times in the afternoon of Christmas Eve, means 24th of December, the carol singing boys come to Scrooge's house. But he tells them rudely to get away. He refuses to accept their Merry Christmas. He is cold to any festive activity. As he returns to his office from the warehouse, he finds his clerk Bob Cratchit hard at work. So he feels satisfied. Door opens again and Fred, his nephew, comes to wish Merry Christmas to his Uncle Scrooge. He is the only son of late Fan, Scrooge's sister. Scrooge, however, wonders why a poor boy Fred should make merry. Fred also wonders why his rich uncle should be so cold and dismal, means sad. Uncle explains what he thinks of the festival. He says that it is a time for paying bills. It also reminds one that one has grown older by a year. Those who go about with Merry Christmas should be boiled and buried. Fred extends an invitation to dinner, but uncle refuses to change his mood and mind. He turns down the offer flatly. So he is very unsympathetic and unfeeling man who just who has the views about Christmas, negative views about the Christmas, and he says that it is the time only for paying bills. So he doesn't want to spend any money and is very miser. There comes a gentleman then to ask for charitable help for the poor. Scrooge tells him to send all the needy, hungry people to warehouses or to the prisons. He calls Christmas a humbug, a fraud. If some poor people will die, it would only reduce the surplus population. So he is so very unfeeling towards the poor and the destitute. Then there comes Bob Cratchit, his clerk. He asks for a leave on Christmas because he wanted to celebrate it. So he comes to Scrooge and requests him to give him a leave. And he asks for a leave on Christmas. Most unwillingly, Scrooge grants it, but with a condition that Cratchit should report for work earlier the next day. So he lays down a condition that if he wants a holiday, a leave for the Christmas, he has to be present in the office the next day, means on 26th of December. Scrooge returns to his own room then. Being miserly, he saves money on light and heat. He eats his he eats his cold supper in a light candlelight, in a single candlelight. He sleeps then and uneasily sleeps. There is sound of chains suddenly dragging across the floor. He wakes up. He is frightened. So he looks here and there. It is Jacob Marley's spirit. Marley had been Scrooge's business partner when he was alive 7 years ago. Now he was doing penance for his greed of money and no concern for the common welfare. The spirit forewarns Scrooge to mend his ways and save his soul. It adds that 3 ghosts or spirits would visit him at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. It also sounds him to pay attention to the message which the ghosts will give to him. So this is all about Marley's Ghost, Stave 1. So that's all in this for this lecture. We will continue with Stave 2 in the next lecture. Thank you.